Good morning, guys. So we are on chapter 8, and he is getting ready to finally take his dogs hunting. For those of you who'd like to see dogs. Gibby. Aw, there's my boy. Okay. Chapter 8. The day hunting season opened, I was as nervous as Sammy, our house cat. Part of that seemingly endless day was spent getting things ready for the coming night. I cleaned my lantern and filled it full of oil. With hog lard, I greased my boots until they were as soft as a hummingbird's nest. I was grinding my axe when Papa came around. He smiled as he said, "This is the big night, isn't it?" "It sure is, Papa," I said, "and I've waited a long time for it." "Yeah, I know," he said. "I've been thinking. There's not too much to do around here during the hunting season. I'm pretty sure I can take care of things, so you just go ahead and hunt all you want to." "Thanks, Papa," I said. "I guess I'll be out pretty late at night, and I'll probably have to do a lot of sleeping in the daytime." Papa started frowning. "You know," he said, "your mother doesn't like this hunting of yours very much. She's worried about you being out all by yourself." "I can't see why Mama has to worry," I said. "Haven't I been roaming the woods ever since I was big enough to walk? And I'm almost 14 now." "I know," said Papa. "It's all right with me, but women are a little different than men. They worry more. Now, just to be on the safe side, I think it would be a good idea for you to tell us where you'll be hunting. Then, if anything happens, we'll know where to look." I told him I would, but I didn't think anything was going to happen. After Papa had left, I started thinking. He doesn't even talk to me like I was a boy anymore. He talks to me like I was a man. These wonderful thoughts made me feel just about as big as our old red mule. I had a good talk with my dogs. "I've waited almost 3 years for this night," he said, "and it hasn't been easy. I've taught you everything I know, and I want you to do your best." Little Ann acted like she understood. She whined and saved me a wash job on my face. Old Dan may have, but he didn't act like it. He just lay there in the sunshine, all stretched out and limber as a rag. During supper, Mama asked me where I was going to hunt. "I'm not going far," I said, "just down on the river." I could tell Mama was worried, and it didn't make me feel too good. "Billy," she said, "I don't approve of this hunting, but it looks like I can't say no. Not after all you've been through, getting your dogs and all that training." "Aw, he'll be all right," Papa said. "Besides, he's getting to be a good-sized man now." "Man!" Mama exclaimed. "Why, he's still just a little boy." "You can't keep him a little boy always," Papa said. "He's got to grow up someday." "I know," Mama said, "but I don't like it, not at all, and I can't help worrying." "Mama, please don't worry about me," I said. "I'll be all right. Why, I've been all over these hills, you know that." "I know," she said, "but that was in the daytime. I never worried too much when it was daylight. But at night, that's different. It'll be dark, and anything could happen." "There won't be anything to happen," I said. "I promise I'll be careful." Mama got up from the table saying, "Well, it's like I said. I can't say no, and I can't help worrying. I'll pray every night you're out." The way Mama had me feeling, I didn't know whether to go hunting or not. Papa must have sensed how I felt. "It's dark now," he said, "and I understand those coons start stirring pretty early. You'd better get going, hadn't you?" While Mama was bundling me up, Papa lit my lantern. He handed it to me, saying, "I'd like to see a big coonskin on the smokehouse wall in the morning." The whole family followed me out on the porch. There we all got a surprise. My dogs were sitting on the steps waiting for me. I heard Papa laugh. "Why, they know they're going hunting," he said. "Know it as well as anything." "Well, I never," said Mama. "Do you really think they do?" "It does look like they do." "Why, just look at 'em." Little Ann started wiggling and twisting. Old Dan trotted to the gate, stopped, turned around, and looked at me. "Sure they know Billy's going hunting," piped the little one, "and I know why." "How do you know so much, silly?" asked the oldest one. "Because I told little Ann, that's why," she said, "and she told old Dan. That's how they know." We all had to laugh at her. The last thing I heard as I left the house was the voice of my mother. "Be careful, Billy," she said, "and don't stay out late." It was a beautiful night, still and frosty. A big grinning Ozark moon had the countryside bathed in a soft yellow glow. The starlit heaven reminded me of a large blue umbrella. outspread and with the handle broken off. Just before I reached the timber, I called my dogs to me. "Now the trail will be a little different tonight," I whispered. "It won't be a hide dragged around on the ground. It'll be the real thing. So remember everything that I taught you, and I'm depending on you. Just put one up a tree, and I'll do the rest." I turned them loose, saying, "Go get 'em." They streaked for the timber. By the time I had reached the river, every nerve in my body was drawn up as tight as a fiddle string. Big-eyed and with ears open, I walked on, stopping now and then to listen. The way I was slipping along, anyone would have thought I was trying to slip up on the coon myself. I'd never seen a night so peaceful and still. All around me, tall sycamores gleamed like white streamers in the moonlight. A prowling skunk came wobbling up the riverbank. He stopped when he saw me. I smiled at the foxfire glow of his small, beady eyes. He turned and disappeared in the underbrush. I heard a sharp snap and a feathery rustle in some brush close by. A small rodent started squealing in agony. A nighthawk had found his supper. Across the river and from far back in the rugged mountains, I heard the baying of a hound. I wondered if it was the same one I'd heard from my window on those nights so long ago. Although my eyes were seeing the wonders of the night, my ears were ever alert, listening for the sound of my hounds telling me that they had found a trail. I was expecting one of them to bawl, but when it came to it, it startled me. The deep tones of old Dan's voice jarred the silence around me. I dropped my axe and almost dropped my lantern. A strange feeling came over me. I took a deep breath and threw back my head to give the call of the hunter, but something went wrong. My throat felt like it had been tied in a knot. I swallowed a couple of times and the knot disappeared, and as loud as I could, I whooped, "Woo-wee! Get him, Dan! Get him!" Little Ann came in. The bell-like tones of her voice made shivers run up and down my spine. I whooped to her, "Woo-wee! Tell him to get him, little girl! Tell it to him!" This was what I had prayed for, worked and sweated for. My own little hounds bawling on the trail of the river coon. I don't know why I cried, but I did. While the tears rolled, I whooped again and again. All right, guys, I'm going to stop right there. It's a good point. So they have found their first coon trail, and all they have to do is tree the raccoon, and then he says he'll do the rest. What do you think that he was getting ready to do? He was sharpening an axe, wants him to get up into the tree. Tell me your thoughts. All right. Bye, guys.